All right, we're back. Well, kinda. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pals Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Liorti. And it makes me very sad to say that I'm your host and not your co-host anymore. And that's the purpose of this episode, is to explain why Georgie is no longer part of the Pals Podcast. Basically, me and him got into a massive fight. We can't stand each other. No, I'm kidding. Unfortunately, Georgie just doesn't have the time to continue doing the pod. Anyone who does any sort of podcast, media, content, anything like that knows that it's not like very easy, and it's not just like a 2-minute thing, 5-minute thing. Some of our episodes are only an hour long. Just because it's an hour doesn't mean it's just an hour. Traveling to record, traveling like from recording, editing, setting up, all this stuff does take time. And it is a lot. Like a 1-hour episode is probably like 5 hours in total time between like planning, editing, posting on socials, promoting it, scheduling the guest, and getting ready, set up. So it is a lot of work. So Georgie just made the decision that has his family business is growing, and he's putting a lot more energy and effort into that. He just doesn't have the same time that he had last year and the year before to be doing the pod, which is very sad. We started this in 2020, as best friends, and we still are best friends. We started as a way to just hang out once a week, and it kind of grew a little bit more from there. And then we were doing 2 episodes a week, and we had a studio with cast, and now we don't have a studio. So we've come a long way. Like from the time we started this podcast, TikTok wasn't, the app it is now, the biggest app in the world. COVID wasn't a thing yet. George was single. Now he's engaged to love his life, planning a wedding a destination wedding in September of next year. So like so much has changed since we started the pod. And with that, so is our time commitments and the amount of free time we have. Everybody's got less free time. And the older you get, I think it becomes harder to find that extra free time between trying to like stay in shape and like see your loved ones and work. And I know Georgie does a lot of reading and running too. So it is tough to find that extra time to do this. So we talked about this a couple months ago, and he's just like, yeah, like it's not something that he can justify creating the free time for, which is unfortunate. Me and him did this, and we're best friends. Anybody who watched any episode, you knew we were best friends. The chemistry me and him had together is very, very hard to replace. Danny's going to be still doing the pod with me. I don't know if she's going to be coming on camera. She can decide that once she's done tax season. But even me and her, like, we're best friends too. But to create the energy and the chemistry that me and George have is going to be very hard to duplicate. Me and Danny might not get there. We might get there. We might not. We don't know. But it'll be something that we try. I'm going to try this pod. We said we're going to keep releasing 1 episode a week, every like Monday or Tuesday. And we're going to stick with the same theme that we were, having guests on, having friends on. I want to do a lot of musicians and a lot of athletes because that's what I really personally love doing. I love going to concerts. I love watching sporting events. So if I can do more athletes and musicians, I think that would be a little bit more of what I was in line with. Now that, again, it's only me, I get to choose 100% of the guests I do, where it's like, me and George, we would bounce ideas back and forth. But now it's just me, so it's easy. I get to decide everything. It's easy in that sense, but everything else is tough. Like, I'm embarrassed to say this is the 3rd time I've had to record this, because the first time I forgot to turn the mic, the recording on the laptop. Second time I recorded it, I was actually very happy with it. I'm more happy than I am with this one. But for some reason the video didn't save, so I lost, the 8-minute video. So yeah, that's it. One thing I did want to not stress, but I did want to ask you guys for help is that I'm going to rely on you, the listeners, the audience, to give me feedback, to give me suggestions and recos and guests that you might want to see on. And if there's old guests that you want to see on, let me know. If there's things you want me to talk about, if there's maybe different directions you want me to go, please let me know. Right now I am doing this alone, and I'm going to be, entering uncharted, waters. And it's never easy to do this because, again, I used to do this with George. If I had an off day, I had George right beside me to pick me up. Like, if he had an off day, I was there to pick him up. Now we don't have that. Now it's just me with the camera. If you see my setup, it's not terrible, but it's not what it used to be. And we're going to be recording a lot of like different places. So right now, this is my home. This is, the home studio. But we're going to be recording at Dear Lady. Shout out to my boy Ollie for letting us record their new venue in Toronto. We're going to be doing a lot of episodes at Universal Music's at their office. So we're going to be doing a lot of cool things. I keep saying we, I and Danny, I guess, when she comes back, we'll be doing some fun stuff. But again, I need the help from you, the listeners, because now I'm doing something different. I don't really know. I'm going to try and stick with this conversation mentality instead of doing an interview, and I say that with air quotes, because I never like doing interviews. I don't like question, answer. Obviously, now that I'm by myself, it's going to be a lot harder for me to have a conversation because I can't just chat with someone I don't know and pretend like we're best friends. With George, I could. So I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to create the same energy that I had. It'll be very difficult. And Georgie, you'll be missed if you listen to this. You'll be missed. And I'm sure he'll come on, once a quarter, once a month. I don't know what he's going to want to do, but he'll be able to come on and we'll be able to shoot the shit and have some fun just like old times. And honestly, other than that, this was a quick episode just to let you guys know what happened with George. Because I know everyone's going to be asking, what happened with George? So instead of me explaining it 100 times, I'm just going to let you guys know in this episode, he's literally just too busy now. And sorry, not too busy. You guys get what I'm saying. He's getting married. He's planning a wedding. He's got work. He's doing a whole bunch of other things. So it's not anything happened. We're still best friends. We are still homies. I was with him last night. We're going to Vegas in the end of the month. We're planning his bachelor party overseas, or not overseas, I guess. South America, potentially. So we're doing a lot of really cool things together, me and him. So we're still going to be best friends. Just the only difference is that you guys won't see him on the pod each and every week. But give you guys a little bit of a window into what I'm doing in the future. We had an episode with Stacey Ryan. She is the queen of jazz talk. She was amazing. We recorded that last week, so that'll be coming out shortly. She was great. She had a long day of tour press and promo, and she still brought the energy. I was actually the bad one in that one. I wasn't good. It was my first one. I was nervous. I ended up screwing up the video. You'll see it in the next episode. I'm half in the video, but whatever. We got my boy Ollie coming on. If you're from the city of Toronto, you go out on King West, you know who Ollie is. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's also on the pod near the beginning, so it'll be good to have him back on and shoot the shit. We've got Young Bombs DJ duo. They're great. They just released a new song, so we're going to be getting them on the pod. Devontae Smith-Pelly, again, if you're from the city of Toronto, you know who he is. Stanley Cup winner with the Washington Capitals. So he just recently retired, so getting him on the pod. It's funny enough because I actually bump into him randomly in Toronto all the time. So nice to finally get him on the pod. And other than that, we're going to stick to a lot of those things. Music, friends, athletes. If you guys want to see anybody else, let me know. And I think that's it. I think I kind of covered everything I wanted to cover in this. If you're listening to this, honestly, I truly do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, like I said, this is tough for me to do alone. It's not easy. Hopefully it gets easier to do alone. But again, it's not. So I appreciate you if you listen. Thank you so much. If you can give us a follow on social media at the Pals Podcast on all socials. If you want to follow me personally, I'm assuming 99% of you already do. Your pal Rick. And then other than that, yeah, guys, stay tuned to see what we have coming up. And I appreciate your support. Other than that, signing off, pals. Until next time. Cheers.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain, and I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high got alone with no one thing. And now